For a movie that puts Spider-Man front and center, it's surprising that one character has become the biggest talking point: the Punisher. Ever since Frank Castle appeared in Brand New Day, fans have been locked in a debate. Has Marvel changed the Punisher too much? The biggest reason for the controversy is that Frank feels far less brutal than audiences remember. For nearly a decade, John Bernthal's version of the Punisher has built a reputation as one of Marvel's most ruthless antiheroes. One Reddit user even counted his kills and estimated that Daredevil Season 2 alone featured nearly 100 victims. And that's only part of what defines him. Frank has always been serious, emotionally distant, and almost never the source of comic relief. That's exactly why his behavior in Brand New Day caught so many people off guard. Instead of being cold and intimidating throughout the movie, he actually shares humorous moments with Peter Parker, creating a much lighter dynamic than fans expected. He still attempts to assassinate Jean Grey with a sniper rifle, but before the shot reaches its target, Peter steps in and takes the bullet himself. What happens after that is even more unexpected. Rather than disappearing after pulling the trigger, Frank stays at the hospital, standing guard while Peter recovers. For someone known for showing very little emotion, it's an unusually compassionate response. Not surprisingly, longtime Punisher fans have mixed opinions. Some believe this version ignores everything Marvel previously established about the character. Others think the film stayed true to Frank while simply revealing another side of him. One fan on the Brand New Day subreddit argued that Frank is still rough, violent, and determined to solve problems the only way he knows how. They also compared his connection with Peter to his relationship with Amy Bendix in the comics, pointing out that Frank has occasionally become more protective whenever younger people are involved. Another fan agreed, saying the chemistry between Spider-Man and the Punisher was one of the film's strongest surprises. They described Frank as Spider-Man's crazy uncle, someone who watches over Peter in a completely different way than Tony Stark ever did. While Tony represented the responsible father figure, Frank brings a far more unpredictable influence. Together, those two very different mentors help shape Peter into a more complete hero. Frank's personality isn't the only thing fans have been debating. Many viewers have also pointed out what they see as a major continuity issue. One Reddit user questioned why both civilians and police seemed far too comfortable around Frank Castle, instead of treating him like someone who should immediately be arrested. Considering his history, it's a fair concern. Since making his debut in 2016, John Bernthal's Punisher has taken the lives of countless criminals. Yet despite all that, he's faced very few lasting legal consequences. Yes, Frank was put on trial during Daredevil Season 2, but even after openly admitting in court that he enjoyed killing dangerous criminals, he still didn't spend much time behind bars. However, there's another way to look at it. Frank is a highly trained former Marine, so avoiding law enforcement has never been especially difficult for him. There's another important detail as well. Not every police officer sees Frank as a villain. Some actually support what he does. That was made even clearer in Daredevil Born Again, where several officers joined Wilson Fisk's anti-vigilante task force while wearing the Punisher's famous skull logo. Frank himself strongly rejects people using his symbol that way. Even so, it helps explain why he often stays out of the authorities' reach. Despite all these debates, one thing most fans seem to agree on is the relationship between Frank Castle and Peter Parker. Many viewers believe their chemistry became one of the movie's biggest highlights. One Reddit user wrote that Frank and Peter's dynamic perfectly served the story, adding that although Daredevil is a fantastic character, he wouldn't have created the same kind of relationship with Spider-Man. That natural chemistry may not be a coincidence. John Bernthal and Tom Holland have actually been friends long before sharing the screen together. The two first met while auditioning for their Marvel roles nearly 10 years ago. They even helped record each other's audition tapes. Bernthal later revealed that he gave Holland one important piece of advice before a Spider-Man audition. During an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, Bernthal explained that he encouraged Tom to take advantage of his athletic ability. He suggested running up a wall, performing a backflip, and then starting the scene. Whether that advice ultimately helped Holland land the role is impossible to know, but seeing the two longtime friends finally work together on screen has given audiences one of Marvel's most entertaining partnerships and reminded fans why movie magic still feels special.